Audi RS6. Now, it's been a while since I've had one of these on my channel. This particular one is cheap. Let me move my head over to this side. It's cheap, it's been tuned, it has got a few issues which we're going to talk about shortly, but look at it. Here we go then, a 2013 63 pre-facelift Audi RS6. Now this car, it arrived in as a part exchange at the weekend. Came in part exchange actually against the Audi SQ7. And you know, I hadn't had one of these in my life for a long time. In fact, the last one I had was my own RS6, which was probably 3 years ago. Obviously that was hybrid turbos, which this does actually have, but my car was had MEF injection, so my one was running a little bit more power than this one does. I think mine was about 820 horsepower and this one is about 750 horsepower, so it's running big power. It sounds absolutely savage. In fact, these are probably of this era, like when you think of savage cars of this era, I think this and maybe the C63s, AMGs, the W204s, them two cars are two cars that spring to mind. There ain't many other cars on the road at that point in time that were as bonkers as those two cars were. So it's a V8 bi-turbo, obviously a 4-litre engine. From factory they produce about 550 brake horsepower, 4-wheel drive quattro, and it's got some lovely curves. Like no car on the road, or not many cars anyway, have got curves like these things have. Like look at the rear arches on that. Rear arches, and you know, let's go for a wander around the rear. Let's go for a wander around the rear, and we'll talk about the rear wiper shortly. But yeah, from the rear end, look at that car. Such a cool looking car. Now this car does have a couple of options. We'll go through the factory options shortly, but it's also got a couple of other touches over factory. One of them being the facelift rear lights, which I think look really nice. To be fair, I quite like the pre-facelift rear lights as well, but it makes it look a bit more modern. And it's got the performance wheels as well, which were available on the performance pack cars, so it looks really good. The headlights are actually pre-facelift headlights. When I first saw this car, I thought I'm sure they're facelift headlights, but they're not. They are pre-facelift headlights. They were a spec option as well, we'll go through that shortly, but the headlights on this, I think from that angle there, it just looks so good, doesn't it? Fully blacked out, bar the silver mirrors. We've got blacked out windows, black window trims, black roof trims, and we've got a full black Maxton design splitter kit as well. Now let's quickly talk about the issues whilst we're on the subject of the splitter kit. Got a lorry doing its thing over there, DPG. Splitter kit, yeah. This car must have hit a curb or something, because the splitter's a little bit damaged. So we've just ordered up a new splitter. Now the retail value of this car is in the region of £35,000, and we'll talk about the exact retail value shortly when we get in the car. But to get a car offered at retail value, which is, you know, strong money to compete with all the other cars on the market, all this preparation needs to be done. So you would need to get things like Maxton design splitter done. These number plates, the car came in with a private plate on. These plates were just in the boot, so I've stuck them on for this video for now. We're obviously going to order a new set of them. This wheel here as well, little dink on the edge of the wheel there, it must have hit a pothole or something, so that needs doing. So it's got a good few little issues, nothing major. There is, I say nothing major, there is an issue that could be potentially major. It's going to go to VRS to get that sorted. We feel like there's an issue on the prop shaft, so when you're driving there is a little bit of a hesitation there, which I'll show you when we go on the drive out shortly. Now obviously as a car trader, when you're preparing a car for retail, it's got to be right, yeah? If you're offering a retail car, you're offering that car at strong money with a warranty, with finance and all that sort of stuff, but it's got to be prepared correctly for sale, right? And when you're doing these things, a bit like, you know, spending money on things like splitter, the rear wiper, which you probably noticed it needs doing, like that does without a doubt needs doing. That's terrible. I drove it home at the weekend, I drove it in this morning, and the heating don't work. The dent on the wheel, that obviously needs doing. In fact, all of the wheels could do with a little refurb, because they're not perfect, they're not too bad to be fair. It has got a full set of Michelin tyres, which is brilliant. They're PS4S's as well, which is nice. It's got a few issues, it has got a few issues. So in the trade, trying to offer this car to other car traders might be a bit worried, like, you know, these cars are expensive. Luckily I'm quite familiar with these cars, and I've got Will at VRS, who I spoke to this morning, who is super familiar with these cars, so it's not too worrying. But obviously as a trader, you're doing it to earn money, so you've always got to be careful you don't overspend, and the only way you can really be super careful is when you buy the car, you've got to buy it right. You can't overspend there either, because you'll end up losing money. On the inside, this car has got the sports seats, which I think is an absolute must spec option on these cars. Like if it hasn't got them, I feel like that's a massive letdown. There's such an attractive feature in this car. car, and I think they really need that. Something this car doesn't have, which is a bit annoying, is the pan roof. Obviously this time of year it's not a massive factor, and I do know there are lots of people out there that actually don't want a sunroof because it's weight in the roof, but I have to have a pan roof. I literally, you lot know it, I love a car with pan roof. So it's got an Alcantara steering wheel, which is showing a bit of wear. They obviously don't wear nowhere near as well as a leather steering wheel. And the mileage, quickly jump in, it has, yeah, see that didn't start then? The reason why that didn't start is because it's got an annoying ghost alarm, so we'll go through that shortly. The mileage is 87,000 miles, which you can't currently see down there because it's got the word safe in its place because the ghost immobiliser is currently engaged. So on the interior, it's got the carbon fibre, flip up screen, all the usual RS6 stuff. I think that's pretty much it for this section of the video. What we need to do now is throw the camera up in the window and quickly go through HPI. This car looks absolutely quality, doesn't it? I love what these cars offer. When it came in, and this is the part of the problem of being a car trader, is, especially for me, ultimately I'm here because I love cars. I love doing a deal, I love earning money. Obviously we're all in business to earn money, but I love cars. And when this car came in, I don't currently have my own car. I do have my own car. I'm currently daily driving the Golf R, but I'm a little bit like, I fancy something a bit more exciting, and an RS6 is the ultimate car, not just for me, for so many people. It's big, it's comfortable, it's sort of practical bar the big V8 engine under the bonnet, but that's a bonus anyway because it sounds unbelievable. But it's got a big boot, and even on the interior, for the age of it, it's still super modern inside. Like, this carbon fibre looks so good, doesn't it? So yeah, they do offer a lot. They're tunable. This one in particular is running at a nice power level. They just have so much going for them, and I don't think they're crazy money, are they? Like 35 grand. Did you look at this car and think this could be worth 35 grand? Now let's quickly touch on that subject actually, because if I put up HPI, here we go. So when the car came in, it came in with a private reg, which is now being transferred over. 5 registers are clear, so this is a HPI cleared car. Plate transfer, which we know about, it's going back onto the reg that it's on now, the 63 reg. So Audi RS6 TFSI V8 Quattro Estate, full former keepers, which ain't too bad for a 2014 car, and it's 8-speed auto gearbox, which we know, yeah, 4 litre V8 twin turbo engine. HPI spec check, 75.5 grand new, with £5,000 worth of extras, making it £80,590 brand new. The optional equipment consisted of the 21-inch wheels, the twin spoke wheels. That's not the wheels that are on the car, because these wheels would have been put on at a later date, but the wheels that were on the car, which were the wheels that my car had, they were a £2,000 option. It's got sports exhaust, which sounds incredible. That was a £1,000 option. All LED headlights, including high beam assist, 850 quid for them headlights. They look very, very nice, I think. Audi parking system advanced with reversing camera. It's got a reverse camera, 400 quid. Privacy glass, £390. Mobile phone prep, £350. Heated front and rear seats, £100. That's definitely a bit of a must, isn't it? And then it's got the carbon, which was £0 option, and the Phantom Black Pearl Effect paint, which was also a £0 option. And that is it for all of the optional equipment. Now, if we go back out to the HPI, NMR check, so national mileage register, it's done 87,000 miles, hasn't been clocked, it's got no discrepancies, which is wonderful. Market values, so this car, according to Auto Trader, with 103,000 miles, Auto Trader valuations are bloody brilliant. They're so accurate because I suppose they know the car market better than anyone. 35,813 quid. That is with 103,000 miles. Obviously, this has done less, so that would mean it would be valued a bit more than that as a retail car. Now, and that would consider all of the spec as well. Cap Black Book Live with 80,000 miles. Cap is a little bit out at the minute. Not criticising them, but they are a bit all over the place. If you're a car trader, you will fully know where I'm coming from. Retail value according to Cap is 32,750. You just couldn't get one of these for that kind of money currently, so no idea where they get that data from, but it's, yeah, it's definitely not accurate. MOT date details, it's got an MOT until the 9th of January 2023. Now if we can head over to Auto Trader and we just go Audi RS6 Avant, up to 4 litre engine, because obviously that's what these are, and the cheapest one on the net there is 32.5 grand. That is a Cat S car, but the cheapest non-categorised car is this one here at 34,950, and that car's done 66,000 miles. So that's a comparable car to this. That's done a lot less miles, to be fair, but it hasn't got the rear lights, hasn't got the wheels. I think black's a better colour. Maybe I'm just being a bit one-sided with my car, but that's a pretty good option. So the cheapest one on the net there is that one at 35 grand. But that gives you an idea what these things are worth on the open market. Now, this car, obviously it does need quite a lot of prep. We are going to get it to VRS before we put it up for sale, and I've got no idea what it's going to cost to get all these bits done. But yeah, that's pretty much it from the values point of view. So let's do the fun bit now and hit the road. But before we do that, quickly start the engine on this thing. I say quickly, you can't actually start this engine quickly because it's got a ghost alarm on it, which I think I'd rather risk my car getting nicked than having a ghost alarm, because I just don't like them. If you was like in a police chase or something, you wanted to get away, not that you know, we're all law-abiding citizens and all that, but if you wanted to get away from any situation with a car with a ghost alarm, you just couldn't do it quickly. It's not possible. So anyway, off tracks, press the ignition button, then you've got a code which I've got on this bit of paper here, which I'm not going to tell you lot because it sort of go against the security of the car, and you begin to press the sequence, which I'm going to cut. And then after you typed in your little sequence, then you get 2 blue flashes on the dash after you typed in your code. Then you foot on the brake, press the start button, and there we go. Listen to that. What a lovely sound that makes, isn't it? So we are now ready to go for a little drive in it. I am very, very curious to see how quickly this does 20 to 70 miles an hour. It's going to be in the top 10, isn't it? We know that for sure, but how high up the leaderboard is it going to be? We don't know, but we're going to find out. Let's go. What? That camera just flew back from the G-force of the RS6. Let's go again. It's weird how light, I don't want to use the word light, but sort of nimble these cars feel. Like, it's obviously the power that gives you that feeling, because the power of this car is just moving this car with no problem at all, minimal effort. Like, it just feels bloody crazy. What was that? I just pressed the button by accident. Shush, shush, go away. I'm trying to do a video. Cancel. Yes, cancel. Please cancel. Listen to it. So it's not like this particular car sounds any better because it's tuned, but it might sound a little bit better. It definitely moves better than a standard one. Like, this is unbelievable. Slow right down. So addictive. It's good for me, because the car kind of does the talking for me, doesn't it? I don't really need to do much, just do this. Even the downshift, did you hear that? Hold on, hold on. 3, 2, 1. Now, the issue with the prop shaft that I was mentioning earlier, even, you ain't gonna be able to see it through the camera, but just as you let off there, thank you, mate. You're just driving along sort of casually in sports mode, you let off, it just sort of jolts back a little bit. You might just be able to see it through the camera, I don't know if you will. But you can see the gearbox is all functioning right, and we do know that these cars do have drivetrain issues. Yeah, we've experienced that before on YouTube. So they are known for it. It could just be something loose under there. It could need a replacement part, but I will try and tell you what that is before this video is concluded, because by the time this video goes up, I'm hoping I would have got it to VRS, worked out what it is, and if it's something major, then I will do a whole separate video talking about that at VRS, but I'm hoping it's going to be something subtle. Just sort of display. Yeah, sorry about that, memory card full, but let's do draggy times. Right, ready? We'll do this without launch, obviously, because we do not want to break this car. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Just flat the throttle. Right, I just had a quick look down at the time, and yeah, we've got less than 4 seconds, so that does put it right in the top end of the leaderboard. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I'm going to do 2 more runs and report back to you shortly and let you know where it falls on the leaderboard, all right? These cars are just absolutely brutal. The downshifts are addictive, the noise is addictive, the power delivery even is addictive. It just feels like such a fast car. Now, if we look at the draggy times, it's done 3 months. I've done 3 runs in total, and they're all quite consistent. I think it's 3.45, 3.46 and 3.52, so all very, very good times. And if you look at the draggy leaderboard, I think that puts it in 7th place, just below the Tesla Model 3 Performance. That's a bit annoying, and also below the Boot Mod 3 Stage 2 F80 M3. Like, goes to show how quick an F80 M3 is when you tune one. Like, they are seriously quick cars. I think this has got weight going against it, and also the fact that it's 4-wheel drive. Like, there's definitely a lot of drivetrain loss in comparison to a real drive car, so that's also quite an interesting factor. I think what this car does offer, like I keep saying, is everything. It is a big fat petrol guzzler, but it does offer performance, it does offer a little bit of practicality, serious road presence, very good looking, and it's an RS car, isn't it? It's just got everything going for it. So I think that pretty much sums up the RS6 for me. I personally wouldn't want to tune one any further than this. I've said it a lot in previous videos that when I got my car tuned, when I put meth and stuff in it, I just didn't like it as much. I like this level of tuning. I don't like things to be too over the top. I want them to be daily drivable, not break, you know. I don't want them to break. Not to say that the setup on my car was unreliable, because as far as I know, that car's been really, really good since it's been tuned. But I just like to have, I don't know, you know what I mean. This just feels like just enough. So the plan now for me with the RS6 is first place it's got to go is VRS, of course, to get all the mechanical stuff done and make sure it's nothing too horrendous. Then after that, it's going to go to RRT to get the wheels sorted, and then once all that's done, we can get it off sale. I could just advertise it as it is, but in the trade, I don't think you're going to get much more than £30,000 for a car like this. So I think it's going to be beneficial for me to get all the stuff done, be patient, and get it up for sale once it's all done. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up, leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you did like this video, do me a favour, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.